Hey guys, welcome to me reacting to movie sequels by the Odd Ones Out. Now, I have not seen this, but I do know some movie sequels that were pretty bad. Like Shrek the Third, which is actually in the thumbnail of this video. Same thing with Shrek, the second one. Same thing with Shrek 2, because it has the fairy lady on the piano. Honestly, Shrek 2 is actually a masterpiece. But yeah, anyways, guys, original links in the description. Make sure to subscribe to The Odd Ones Out. Links also in the description. Anyways, let's get right into it.
Do you all remember that classic kids movie made in the 70s about a pig and a spider? Yeah, Charlotte's Web.
Oh yeah, he talked about this.
Made us a lot of money. Wait, didn't we already have this conversation?
Yeah,
we did. But
I
we're
remember he did this,
this
where they made an animated version
with better graphics and Will Smith.
Yeah.
But why would we remake
actually
something that's
do
already
that?
good on its own when we could be making something totally original? Because,
yeah.
Ethan, we don't want to take risks, and
No,
this will
'cause
make
Hollywood
us more
is
money.
just kinda
won't it be
lazy.
obvious to the audience that we're only doing these remakes for the money? They'll watch
Yeah.
it anyways.
Yeah.
I don't
Lion
want
King
you to
sucks,
think
by
that
the
I
way.
think that
Don't
all
go see
sequels
it.
and remakes are bad.
I saw
One
it,
of my
and
favorite movies is a spin-off.
No.
And I'm very excited for the remake
I had
of
a
The
Dark
Dark
Crystal.
Crystal to come out. And if you think I'm
That's
going to make
on
a video
Netflix, by
talking
the
about it
way.
when it comes out,
I'm not
you are
sponsored by
absolutely
Netflix.
correct. So Disney is remaking a bunch of classical movies into live action. They did it with
Aladdin was
Tarzan,
pretty
Alice
good.
in Wonderland, and they did it with 101 Dalmatians twice. And as someone who
Yeah.
enjoys cartoons a little too much, I think it would be cool
Well-
if they remade Treasure Planet or Atlantis into live action. Both of those movies are underrated and have a lot of high-stake, action-packed adventure that would be perfect for a reboot. And if they did get a
Danny
reboot,
DeVito.
it would introduce a new generation of kids to these awesome movies. But that's just my opinion. I'm sure Disney has good reasons for making sequels and spin-offs.
Aladdin live action was actually
Speaking of
pretty
Disney
good.
sequels, I bet some of you forgot the
Wasn't
very
bad.
old straight-to-VHS Disney sequels. I try to
Yeah,
forget
Dis-
about them every day. You can have your
Yeah.
own opinion on the Disney sequels, but all the ones that went straight to VHS are terrible. Even The Lion King 2? That one emo lion was kinda hot. Did I stutter? I know all those sequels were technically done by a different studio, but let's just hope that Disney will finally break the bad
What the
sequel
heck?
streak with Frozen 2. Or they should just let it go. Straight to VHS.
Hey.
Some franchises like
Really?
Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings have long, overarching stories that are designed to have multiple installments.
Well,
and as long
yeah.
as a studio doesn't stretch out one book into 3 movies, then those types of movies are absolutely fine. But I don't want to talk about those
The
movies.
Hobbit.
I want to talk about sequels to standalone films. Now, I believe that a sequel to a
Shrek?
standalone film can be done, but it's a delicate process. Because in the first movie, you establish
yeah.
the characters and the world they live in, then the protagonist has to overcome a problem,
You
usually
do
defeating
realize
a
that
villain,
there's
and then the
already a
characters live
review
happily ever after,
on
and the
Shrek-
story is all wrapped up
on
nicely
Shrek
with a bow. and
2,
just- what a nice story
made
we
by-
got there. I'm just
I
gonna
can't
set it down
you know, I'm
and
just gonna
watch
put
it
in
from
the
time to
card,
time
I'm
and
gonna
not
put the
change it one
original
bit.
video.
But then a sequel
as
comes
a
along and
card.
says, "Oh, you thought the characters lived happily ever after?" And then rips off the
No.
nice bow and says there's another more evil villain who wasn't
Is that
mentioned in the
from,
first movie for some reason.
is that from,
if a sequel turns out bad, it can
know.
devalue the original
yeah,
movie.
Son of the
There's
Mask,
a reason we
yeah.
don't talk about
I
Atlantis
love The
2 or
Mask, though.
Pocahontas 2. Or Mulan 2, or Hunchback 2, or Aladdin 2, or Cinderella 2, or Beauty and the Beast 2, or Tarzan 2. Because they didn't happen. So that's why I'm always impressed whenever a good sequel is made. And a studio that I think does an amazing job at making sequels is called DreamWorks. But I've noticed a pattern
agree.
with DreamWorks franchises that I've coined the DreamWorks trequel paradox. I think the right word might be trilogy, but I'm just
Yeah.
going to say trequel.
Where they, like,
you see,
fail at
DreamWorks
the
has a
third
track record of
installment,
creating
but-
amazing sequels, but pretty subpar trequels. Here's what I mean. Now, keep in mind that these
Well,
are
'cause
not
Shrek
my
the
opinion.
Third.
These reviews are objectively correct facts. And also, I just want to say I know that
That's
these
a
movies
joke.
are kids' movies, but I like animated movies more than real ones. And I'm a cartoon character, so Shrek 1.
Who'd you get
great
to
movie,
animate
great
that?
characters, great message.
Shrek
10
1
layers
was
out of
really
10.
great.
Shrek 2,
Even though-
it's the first movie in history to be better than the original, and it created the best music
Yeah.
video of all time. I need 11 heroes out of 10.
Oh yeah,
Shrek
that was
3?
the best. That was the one that
Not in my
ruined
swamp.
the.
Okay, I
That
know we
was the
might
one
not
that ruined
all
the
agree, but
franchise.
here's another
Shrek the
example.
Third.
Kung Fu Panda 1, perfect movie. Any movie with anthropomorphic animals is always a win in my book. I think we have a best-selling franchise
I actually
on our
like
Panda
Kung
Pods.
Fu Panda.
Kung Fu
Same thing
Panda
with the
2,
third one.
just as good as the original. How many
Yeah,
sequels
I
have an
agree as
animated
well.
bird as a villain?
I also love
Besides
that bird,
Stuart
by
Little
the way.
too.
Yeah.
So far, we got 10s across the board, but then
What do
Kung
you-
Fu Panda 3 comes along and... I'm sorry, Jablinski, I just wasn't feeling this
Why?
one. Which is why I was so worried for How to Train Your Dragon 3, and let's just say the DreamWorks trequel paradox didn't break its trend. However, there's one franchise
Really?
that
Oh.
doesn't follow the DreamWorks trequel paradox, and it haunts my dreams works. And that franchise
Sin.
is Madagascar. I remember loving this
Oh, yeah,
movie
the
as a
third one
kid,
was-
and apparently I wasn't the only kid
Well,
who enjoyed it because it made $193,595,521.
The second one is pretty good.
So
I mean,
DreamWorks made 2 more of these movies
Moto's
and
got a
created
lot-
the thing that haunts my dreams.
Yeah!
Now, personally, I don't really care for these movies. They're fine. I haven't rewatched them at all, so 5 out of 10. But there's
second
another
one's
movie in
good.
this franchise. A movie that shouldn't be as good as it is, and honestly, I'm a little embarrassed to admit that it might make the list of my top 5 favorite
No.
movies. I don't think enough people are talking
It
about
can't
this
be
movie, so
Penguins
I'm
of
going to be the one who
Madagascar.
breaks the ice. That metaphor is relevant because we're talking about Penguins of Madagascar.
Oh my
Penguins of
God.
Madagascar is the best movie that features penguins ever. Better than Happy Feet and Happy Feet 2, and it's 1,000 times more
What?
realistic than
Fortnite
March
did-
of the Penguins. There's
I
a
didn't-
scene
I
where the
didn't like
penguins
this
fall off an
movie. They
airplane and go
completely
hopping
ruined
from
the
one
best
airplane to
characters
another.
from the
It's
original
so entertaining and it's all
Madagascar,
done in one continuous camera shot.
franchise.
So I'm not talking with a hint of irony when I say that this scene is a cinematic masterpiece.
What, the
I don't
one on the
remember when I
iceberg?
first watched Penguins of Madagascar.
Yeah, the one where,
It
like,
came
they're
out when
telling
I was
private-
18,
you don't
so
have
I'm
a
probably
family.
not the target
And we're all gonna
demographic.
die.
But I remember after watching it thinking, wow, that's a good movie. And I didn't think about that movie again until years later on Halloween night 2018. I was in a Discord call with some
Cats,
friends who were also
oh,
spending their
don't get me
Halloween night
started
behind
on
the
that
computer,
furry
and naturally
mess.
we were discussing
I have
which
nothing wrong with
Madagascar
furries,
sequel
but
was
that movie
better.
doesn't look
Some
good.
people actually liked the
Just looks
second one, which was
Uncanny Valley.
surprising, and I said, well, no matter what you think of the sequels, at least we can all agree that Penguins of Madagascar is better than both of them, right? And everyone in the call was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah!
Instead of watching a scary movie that Halloween night,
How
we
do
all
you-
virtually watched a movie about penguins together, and I think everyone liked it. Okay, let's talk about another
You
studio.
think?
Pixar. Pixar
Keyword?
movies do a good job at appealing to a wide audience.
Well, yeah.
Kids like them because they're a
Pixar
cartoon,
sequels are
and
actually
adults
pretty
like
good,
them because of their
except
heavy
if we're
themes like
talking about
old
it
people
now.
dying. Almost every movie Pixar
yeah.
has made has been a cinematic classic. Penguins of Madagascar, however, is not one of those emotionally inducing movies.
Well,
It
yeah.
doesn't teach a thought-provoking life lesson. It's an hour and a half of penguins fighting an octopus, and I love it. Every morning when I watch Penguins of Madagascar, I feel like a
Eh.
kid again. I am jealous of the writing in this movie. Okay, there's one fart joke, but that's my only complaint. Now, do I think Penguins is better than all of these Pixar movies? No, definitely not.
Yeah,
but I do
no.
think this movie is really good, and IMDb gave it a 6.7 when it clearly deserves a 10. I don't know if this video convinced you to watch Penguins of Madagascar, but if you're retroactively
I don't-
looking for
I
the
don't
next
like-
summer
I saw
blockbuster
it,
movie
it's
to
not
watch,
that
then it's got
good.
my recommendation. James, are you being sponsored by Penguins? I wish. There wasn't really a point to this video, I just wanted an excuse to talk about my favorite DreamWorks spinoff. So,
Really?
in conclusion, I'm really excited for The Dark Crystal 2 coming out on Netflix. The show's being released on August 30th, which is coincidentally this channel's 5-year anniversary. So don't expect me to work
Wait.
that day.
Wow. Yeah, this honestly, my opinion on sequels is that they can be stupid unless if they're good. Exactly. But yeah, anyways, guys, welcome to this episode. This was actually a pretty good video. But yeah, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy. Leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!